Hey everyone, thanks for tuning back in to mattsteinway.com. Alright, this is a video for buyers. Now, when you're searching for a house, I want to share something with you that I've seen so many times over the years. So many, I can't even begin to tell you how many. When you're looking for a house and you find one, even if the house has been on the market for a while, don't muck around. Don't muck around. And the reason that I say that is, I don't know if there's a negotiation school out there that people go to and they teach you to muck around. What I mean by that is that it's like games that go on. There's all this, just goes weird. If you want to buy a house, buy it. Don't have to play this negotiation game thing going on. Some of the stuff that buyers come up with is amazes me and just prolongs the whole process, and it turns into this weird scenario of I don't know, not interested. I don't even know how to explain it properly. But they offer really low maybe, and then they just go up a little bit, and then they say they're looking at all these other houses and they've put offers in on other houses. And that all might be right. That's what you might be doing. But work out if this is the house you want to buy. If this is the house you want to buy, just do what it takes to secure it. Pick the point that you want to buy it at, or give it a shot at. But if it's listed at 680,000, then you've sort of got to most of the time be able to spend somewhere towards that. If you've got 620,000 and you're trying to buy a $680,000 house, one might come off every now and then, but at the end of the day, it's sort of not in your price bracket, so it's probably not the right property for you. Find stuff that's in your price bracket. If it's a house that you want to live in, the price sort of doesn't really matter exactly, because you're going to live there for however long. Just as long as it's fair market price and it stacks up from a valuation perspective. Don't get too caught up in, trying to create this huge big wrestle around a few $1,000s. Because of this. This is why I'm saying this. I have seen it that many times, like I said before, that buyers try to get really crafty with their negotiation. And I'm going to do some negotiation stuff on this part of the site. But they try and get really crafty and tricky with their negotiation. And you know what happens when someone becomes interested in a house? A buyer. And it doesn't matter how long a house has been on the market. If anything, sometimes the ones that have been on the market for a long time or longer, this happens more often than not with those. But someone becomes interested in the house and they go, oh, I like that house, and they come back for a second inspection, and then they become enthused about the house. They might offer and think, no, it's been on the market for a bit, or the market's not that good, I'll offer low and just sit there and I won't do anything. But really they want to buy the house, and they're playing all these weird games to try and get the price as low as they can, and then they take too long. They take too long. You know what happens? Someone else becomes interested in the house. Another buyer becomes interested in the house. And you know what they do? They don't muck around. They buy the house. They negotiate quickly, promptly, do what they have to do, sign contracts and exchange them. And you know what happens with the first buyer? Mr. Tricky, lose the house. And this is why. When somebody becomes interested in a property, the energy changes around it. The energy changes around it, and it's like the energy turns really positive or something, or attractive. And then, funny enough, when that happens, somebody else flies in as well, and they become interested in the energy, and they all become interested and want to buy it. And sometimes it's even more than one person, even in a slower market. Even in a slower market, because it has nothing to do with the marketplace, pretty much. It has everything to do with interest on a property. Properties sell in all markets. So if they're priced right or they're around right, as soon as someone becomes interested in it, the house sells. So it has not a lot to do with the marketplace itself. It has everything to do with the buyer interest that is being generated in a property. So if you become interested in a house and it's something that you want to live in and buy and live in and enjoy, don't get too tricky. Just get into a reasonable negotiation. Don't take too long. You know, just few offers, backwards and forwards, get a sense of where it's going to be. And if it's in your spending capacity, don't get too caught up in a few $1,000s, because you might lose the house. If you take too long, you muck around too much, you might lose the house. I've seen it many times. And you know who the people get annoyed at? The agent. Like, we're buying the house. We want to help you as agents. If you're a buyer, think about that next time you're looking at a house. Get into it, work out where you want to be, get into a negotiation with the owner through the agent, whatever it is, and you know, listen to the agent, work with the agent, find a nice rhythm, secure the house, sign contracts before anybody else becomes interested in the house, please. And you'll be a very happy buyer. You move in, away you go, done. And you can enjoy it. You know, you can enjoy it. That's why price, like I said before, doesn't matter exactly, because if you wanted to pay $690,000 for a house and it's listed at $700,000 and you get caught up on this last $10,000, does it really matter if you pay an extra $5,000 or whatever, like, to secure it? Like, does it really matter? If you're going to live there for how many years, it doesn't matter. You don't even remember it in a year, 2, 3, when you're loving it and enjoying it, waking up every day thinking this is the best place I've lived in, and physically just having a great time there. If you can afford it, don't get too caught up on it. Just buy it, secure it, enjoy it. All right, question of the day today. Have you ever missed out on a property because you've taken too long? I'd love to hear about it. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, helping make this real estate world a much better place. See you on the next video.